crazy. The battle between men and women has been fought over centuries. Many jokes have been made about men and women. All right? Vera, do you have my picture about understanding men and women? Oh, sorry. Yeah, how to understand a man, full edition. How to understand a woman, part 1. Oh, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite a group of men to come and help us discuss that small edition, the full edition, on what men want. Where my boys at? I know my boys say, woo! Please welcome these lovely gentlemen, these awesome gentlemen who are going to sit here with me and discuss this whole understanding of what is it exactly that men want. Hey, where's the rest of my guys? We have one guy missing. Elder Roots, where you at? Okay. To get this thing started, we're going to introduce ourselves very fast. I will start from the other end of the line and come this way. TJ, who are you?
Awesome. Hi, everyone. My name is Timothy Jonathan Musika, and together with my wife, Rebecca Subi Musika, we've been married for 8 months. We serve here at Worship Harvest Nalia as zonal pastors, and we also lead the Christ generation. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you very much, TJ. Chale!
Calvin Atwanjire. Musinguzi is my name. My wife and I lead Worship Harvest Bugolobi. We are honored to happen to lead that location.
How long have you been married?
Oh, we've been married 4 years this August. Yeah.
Awesome. Good afternoon, everybody. Pastor Chris Kawesa is my name, and together with my wife, Pastor Jean, we lead the Global Network and also Worship Harvest Nakawa. We've been married 17 years.
Woo!
Hello. My name is Rutabanzibu Alwanga. I've been married to Beatrice, who's somewhere over there. It will be 19 years in December. We have 3 children. Downtown, we're elders in the movement.
Awesome. My name is Pastor Emmanuel Okulo. Together with my lovely wife, Pastor Angela, we lead the Peculiar Network, and we're also the pastors at Worship Harvest Downtown. We've been married 13 years. All right, gentlemen, let's dig right into it without following any particular order. Whoever is ready speaks first. What do men want?
Do we get a cheat?
Oh, yeah.
Do we get a cheat?
We need a cheat. Please, shoot.
To be open.
Pastor Calvin, don't be shy. Say it.
What men want, primarily, is a lot of sex. A lot of sex. You see, I have a story.
Story.
One time, it was extremely hot, just like it has been this past couple of days. Actually, last night I was feeling hot and I was like, this reminds me. Nostalgia hit me like a slapped me in the face. But it was one night, it was really hot. It was so hot. And I remember getting out of the bed and going to the
Bathroom.
No, not the bathroom. I wish I'd gone to the bathroom. But I went to the balcony outside and sat outside. I was like, what's happening? Then I was like, hey, but where am I sitting outside? I entered the house. I sat on one of the couches. And then I remembered Apostle's story when he was walking back home in the rain. And he was lucky it was raining because, onions had been cut somewhere.
Hey!
Yeah, and I realized that the reason why I was feeling that way in that very hot temperature, it wasn't really the heat of the environment. It was just, I needed to have sex, but I wasn't getting it. So
There was
that
a loss.
That was the day I realized that
It was important.
it's a need. Honestly speaking.
There was high demand and low supply. Okay.
No, Pastor Emma,
Are we pursuing the same topic?
a bit.
Yes, let's pursue the same topic, conclude it, and then move on to something else.
Ideally, if I tell you I want to sleep, okay?
Yeah.
If I tell you I want to sleep, the thing you don't talk about, you don't debate whether I'll close my eyes or not. You know?
We take it for
I can-
granted
yeah, I
that if
can
you want
te-
to sleep, you will close
It's
your
not-
eyes.
Yeah, you don't even raise it up. Like, I can worry where I'm going to sleep in the car, on the mattress,
Yeah,
in the sitting room.
those are-
Closing
yeah.
my eyes is like
It's a given.
It's a standard.
It's a
So,
given.
The same thing with sex for men in marriage. As you don't even bring it up. It's like,
It's a given. Once you're
Yeah.
married, let's go.
yeah, that one. It's not even part of the. It's like the thing.
Wow!
It's like the foundation of the
Awesome.
relationship.
So you've been married 16 years. You've been married 4 years. Elder Roots, do you have anything to say that is different from what these guys... No, before I go to Elder Roots, I think let me go back to Timothy. Timothy, you see, the assumption we make with people who have been married for a short time is that you're getting all the number one you desire. And so your demand for number one matches the supply. Oh, there's more supply than demand. Wow, thank you. Please, Timothy, what's your experience?
Thank you, Pastor Emma. Sex is extremely important for a married man. Now, I must, however, confess that in my case, it's abundant. It's something I never have to think about. I am not crying, okay?
He's a tax collector, this one.
But to be honest, it's probably one of the things, or let's say it's the one thing
That is working.
that I signed up for when I got married. Because everything else can probably be gotten elsewhere. But you can't get sex from anyone else.
It can't be outsourced.
No, it can't be outsourced.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know Apostle was teaching us about envy. That one of the ways to fight envy is to sow seed. Timothy's ministry numbers are 0778 160 715. I repeat, 0778 160 715. Let us fight envy. You add anything more to that?
No.
You're good. Elder Roots.
So I've just been thinking to myself as I was listening to the other
What a wonderful
panelists
world.
that these are all pastors, by the way. Just it's important to put that in context.
Wow.
These are spiritual men, tongue talking, demon chasing, Bible quoting, filled with the Holy Ghost. And I'm wondering what God is doing amongst his people. So for me, I think because I listened to the ladies, and the ladies had really deep stuff they were sharing.
They shared three
But
things.
I think
Elder Roots.
Elder Roots.
Sex is deep.
yeah. I mean, but I think this is perhaps the easier conversation. I think the ladies talked about some of the more difficult stuff. This is easier. But what I wanted to bring maybe to this conversation is, so the ladies talk about understanding, which is very important, man to be understanding. But I think the ladies need to try and understand the guys.
They need to be thoughtful.
Yeah. They need to try and understand. And it's difficult to wear a hat that you don't typically wear.
It's true. It's true.
So take, for example, a conversation around, if you're expecting to make love tonight, please prepare me in advance, send me a message. So today, let's say we woke up at 4 and we are
Went to
shaka
pray.
baba baba
You went
for
to pray.
like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We are off to church.
Yes.
We arrive at church. Ding, ta 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 ta. Now we are here. So
Meanwhile, it's the way I expect the
yeah,
results.
yeah. I mean, as in practically, I think if you flipped roles for a day and said, you like try it out and see how it works. Practically, some of these things are not as easy to implement. But I think the balance is to understand where people are coming from. Yeah. The same way you would expect them to understand where you're coming from. Someone talked to me about, so men want sex, and ideal on a regular basis.
Frequency.
But there is also the generic thing and the specific thing. So people are different. So someone may be okay with the frequency of 2 days a week, someone 3 days a week, someone 4 days a week, someone 7 days a week, someone 8 days a week.
Lockdown.
I think one of the things that a man would want is a woman to understand his sexual need.
Yes.
And anticipate the need. You get it?
Yes.
That if your husband has not made love to you for 3 or 4 days, you don't have to be really
prophetic,
very,
spiritual.
To understand that in the next couple of days,
It's time.
yeah, that's one. I think the other thing that men would like, and I'm happy to get, is if the women could initiate also more often than they do.
Yes. Yes.
That's part of understanding and anticipation.
Anticipating. Yes.
So you get a point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's all about understanding. Your mind functions differently, and your mind and our minds function differently. I was speaking to my wife there as I was listening, and I was like, when God was creating, he said male and female, he created them. As in, if he could just explain what he was thinking, because why not just harmonize everything.
You
once
know? You know?
But the balance is in us thinking about them and them thinking about us. I think that understanding thing solves a lot of the problems.
Just to pick up from where you stopped, you talked about if God would just harmonize everything. And that is the beauty of marriage. I think that's the reason God said that sex is for married couples. Because you get two people who have very different needs and you bring them together and you want them to work together. It's only in a marriage where that is possible. But just to follow up on when you talk about sex, there's frequency, that is important. There is quality.
It's quality and quantity.
Don't lie there like a dead fish. So, participate. Change styles.
Yes.
Change rooms. Change outfits. Spice it up. I'm going to use this to move away from the sex talk into something else. And
But
this is...
Pastor Emma, I was thinking about something. If I could just interrupt.
Please.
Because, and I was thinking about it this week. I'm surprised that I'm actually finding myself here. Because I was thinking, you know that Paul says that this is a picture of Christ and the church? Yeah. He says the man is a picture of, Christ is a picture of the groom. We are the bride.
Yep.
He takes a picture of the man and the wife.
Yes.
And he says this is a mystery.
Yes.
And he says I'm speaking about Christ.
And the church.
And the church. And so we are the bride. We are the bride as the body of Christ, right? And Jesus is ever ready.
It is true.
What a mystery.
So when you wake up on Sunday morning and you don't feel like going to church,
Yes. Jesus.
that's typical of the bride.
Yes.
But you need to go. And when you go, you find that you're glad you went.
Are we done here? Because
I think we're
I
done.
feel like that's the point.
So when you don't feel like praying, you still get up and
You pray.
Jesus is always waiting.
He's waiting.
And you're glad you went. So I was just thinking about it this week and I was like, So someone told me something about beautiful and dutiful.
Yes.
So there is beautiful sex, the one that where you've sent the flowers, you've done the what, you've done
mutual, yeah.
and all that. But there's also, you cannot run away from
Dutiful sex.
dutiful sex. What women have to understand is that you as a wife,
Yeah.
this responsibility of sexually satisfying your wife or your husband is not given to anyone else.
But you.
If he, for whatever reason, he feels deprived,
Yes.
even
yeah.
Jesus has no one else to blame.
Yeah.
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 So,
Yeah.
You can't send angels.
Yeah. It's true. And
it's so true.
Yeah.
So, but we are talking about what men want. So I want us to keep the conversation on what
right.
men want.
No, but I mean, when you said that and you talked about dutiful, I mean, how much time are we talking about here? It's like 3 minutes, 4 minutes.
You can even hold a Zoom call.
You can hold a Zoom call, bang it, and move on. But anyway,
Request your screen to be off.
still talking about quality, that participation is important. Part of participation is response, right? Response. If you like something, say it. If you want to offer me the world, offer, because the thing is working. Why is that important? And I'm going to use this to segue into another thing that men want, and it is the thing of respect. Right? If you read the book of Genesis, When Adam was cursed, he was told that he was going to till the land, suffer, and all that stuff. And that responsibility was put on his head. From that time going forward, man or men have held a sense of responsibility to deliver on something. And because they have a responsibility to deliver on something, they desire affirmation when they are delivering. Right? So sex is just one of the areas. Yeah, kampara that stuff is affirmation on something that he's delivering. But it goes into other areas of life. Okay? So he's gotten up in the morning, he's gone to work. Maybe the day didn't go well. And he's coming back home, he hoped he would make 100,000. He's made 20,000. Recognize the 20,000. That is the aspect of respect.
Yeah.
And men thrive on respect. Do we have anything to say about respect?
Well, I think one, the lie probably today is that respect is a cultural thing, and people look at it sometimes as backward or based on the tribe you're from. But I would probably call it honor. Like they say, respect is earned, but honor is given. So I would rather probably call it honor.
Yes.
Because someone will say, why do I respect my husband when they are doing all these things?
Yes.
So I think it's very, very important to affirm the person.
Yes.
Just by honoring them, you
Yes.
know? The little labor,
That
or
they've
the
done.
areas where you've gone ahead and achieved.
Yeah.
Let that honor be the foundation of our relationship, at least, as a minimum.
Before we move on, I'll come to you, Pastor Calvin, and then I'll come to you, TJ. I was talking to a lady not too long ago, and her husband lost his job during COVID. He was a plumber. Thank you very much, Apostle. He wasn't a plumber. He was a plumber, and he lost his job during COVID. And he looked for jobs, and he couldn't get any. But his wife's response to his failure to get a job was not encouragement. Instead, she started to belittle him, said, "What sort of man are you who can't get a job? What sort of man are you who can't afford to pay rent? What sort of man are you?" And she hoped that by saying these things to him, he would rise to the occasion to prove that he's a man. She got the exact opposite. He stopped looking for work. He would wake up in the morning, have breakfast, and sit on the couch all day. In the evening, go out drinking with his friends. And she would complain. She talked to the pastor. I told her, "You know what you have to do? Go back home and honor that man." She said, "You're just speaking because you're a man. You don't understand." She had got a house where she wanted to move her kids to. Then she went and spoke to her pastor in the church, and the pastor told her the exact same thing. Go back home and honor that man. She said, "Well, two people have told me to honor the man, to respect him, speak well to him." She went home and did that. Within 3 weeks, the man had got a job, started earning money, paying rent for the house. All he wanted was to be lifted up. Because, anyway, Pastor Calvin, over to you.
I think on this topic, again, because of that experience I had, the heat, that's why I said sex is the most important. But next to it is definitely respect. And one of the most powerful definitions or explanations I've had of the thing called respect is defined by the person that receives it. You know that there are people or there are circumstances where you say, "But I honor this guy, but I respect this guy." And yet you're doing things like kneeling down. What does kneeling down have to do with anything? Right? Or I say, "I serve you in a special plate." As in, like, I can serve myself, I can cook for myself. I've been cooking myself, a couple of years before we met. So that's not really what respect is for me. And I feel like men have a definition, or every man has a definition
Of what respect
looks like. And it's important, instead of missing the mark, you actually ask, "Babe, husband, what does
does it
respect
look like?"
actually look like to you?" You get what I mean? Then it's defined, and then you understand it. But then you have, like, for example, issues where you have misunderstandings. And, like the love languages, someone is investing on the wrong side of love language.
Oh, yes. You're speaking a different language.
Yeah,
I don't
you're speaking a
understand-
different language. You're
I don't
like, you know
understand
what?
Chinese, even if you speak it slowly.
Even if you speak it slowly, I'm not going to understand it. I'm not receiving it because
Yeah.
that is not how I receive respect. So I thought I'd just add to that conversation that way.
DJ,
Yeah, I mean, just to continue the conversation of respect, for I think the first 6 months or 7 months of our marriage. Pardon?
okay, for the
People, they're about to
beginning.
become 9. So
the-
first 7, what's happening? Mathematics, innit? So, my wife didn't have a job at the time, and so I was making the money. Sometimes I sit back, I'm like, it's a miracle that I could afford to take care of the home. But every single day, when I would come back, welcome back from work, when there was food on the table, thank you for the food. I didn't cook it. You know, she prepared it. Thank you for the food. When I have an opportunity to teach in a space, Christ Generation,
Yes.
when we did a Thoroughly Equipped, she was there cheering me on. That was an amazing sermon.
Yes.
If anything, it gives me energy to go back and work harder
Yeah.
than if she was belittling me.
Oh, yes.
So to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, so respect definitely contributes to the confidence of a man in small supernatural ways, yeah.
Before I come to Elder Roots, there's a book I was reading recently, and one of the things he talked about men is that most men, or should I say all men, including Donald Trump, think that they are frauds. They think that they are frauds. And that somebody is going to find them out. So when you step aside, respect is like the drug against that thought that the man harbors about himself. And so when you take that away, you are just confirming the fear that he has in his mind that he doesn't measure up. And that explains why a man who's not respected acts a certain way. You know, women, when I was listening to the ladies talking, the thing that I understood when ladies talked about affection is see me. Yes. Women want to be seen. When she dresses up, notice that she's dressed up. When she's done her nails, notice that she's done her nails. When she does something well, notice that she's done something nice. And that's where respect comes in for men. See me. In all my failures and all my struggles, see me. That's what respect is. Yeah.
So I just wanted to pick up from what Pastor Calvin said around what does it mean for me specifically. Again, there is the generic and then there is the specific. So generically men want to be respected, but what does it actually mean? And my wife and I remember we had a couple we were helping. The lady was having difficulty in the marriage. The man is a very traditional man. And so my wife told her, you know what, just to go, kneel down in front of the man, serve him food like this, do this, do this, do this. And everything just opened up.
Turned around, yes.
Yeah, so I think it's a lot about, it has to be customized. I think also there is a component of a man is doing something. First of all, this respect thing comes to do, it typically relates to how do you treat me publicly?
Yes.
Because that's the biggest area where a man will feel disrespected.
Yes.
My parents came and you behaved like this. We were at church and you did this.
Yes.
I was at work. You showed up and you threw the baby there and said,
it's your turn.
yeah.
We made it together.
Yeah.
Do your time. I carried it for 9 months.
So I think that's the component that, and sometimes when you ask a man, how do you want me to respect you? He might not actually have the answer really.
Yes.
But I think you can pick it over time.
Yes.
From what he is not really comfortable about or what he gives you feedback about.
Yes.
And then you pick that up.
Yeah.
But the cue to pick would be, amongst others, how am I treated?
Am I king?
Yeah, am I king? How am I treated in front of the kids? If you throw a tantrum in front of visitors and, I was told about a situation where in a missional community meeting, being hosted by a couple, one side of the couple decided to throw a tantrum with the other side on account of certain things that were not happening right with respect to the MC. So you're the MC leaders, husband and wife,
Yes.
and then one of us is very unhappy with what's happening, and they express that disagreement in front of the MC members. So the MC members are now like,
Uncomfortable.
so should we continue the MC?
Should we
or-
go home?
Find the door.
So that is really disrespectful.
All right.
So the sensitivity around public issues is critical.
Thank you very much, Elder Roots. All right. I want us to move to something else. And the thought that occurred to me is something also the ladies talked about, and I think is very important for men, the need for an attractive spouse. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
What about it?
Look,
It's evident.
So I'm going to give an example. We all want a beautiful wife. A wife who dresses well, smells well, speaks well. Because on a certain level, right? It says, on a certain level, she is a reflection of our taste. She is a reflection of who we are. And I've noticed sometimes that when people get married, so he chased after this woman, she looked her best, she was, super in every way in the way she dressed. Then the moment they got married, she's like, you know what? That's when the tent comes out when she's going to bed. She covers her face in camouflage, like she's going to war, and throws on a helmet.
It contributes to the heat
Look,
in the bed.
This is how it gets so bad. Look, you went out, she did her makeup, you went out, you got home, you're going to bed, she walks into the bathroom, and another woman walks out. So that is temporary. But then there are things like, I'm married, so I don't have to worry about my weight anymore. I don't have to worry about the way I look. That's what you married. Deal with it.
Allow me pick up from what you're saying.
Yeah.
One of the, as the ladies were speaking, one of the things they said is they'd like to be brought to the guy's workplace. What's happening?
TJ,
To the
Are you
guy's
saying-
workplace. No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying. To meet his friends, to go meet his family, and when you say that, it's again, I'm not saying that's what happens, but it would be great if you look nice, even on a random day.
yeah.
Yeah, like I don't have to tell you, hi, we are like 3 hours away. We are coming.
Yeah.
I have like 1 or 2 of my
Yeah,
friends
yeah.
that are coming. So think of, hi babe, I'm at the gate. Some guys just bumped into me here. We're coming in. Don't now run and try and figure out what you're going to look like,
Yeah.
We want a wife that will look good anytime, any day, anywhere. That way I'm proud to, I can't appear at a function without my wife. How? She's the most amazing looking person in the world.
Oh, yes.
If anything, she compliments how I look.
Thank you.
So, yeah, that's what I would say about it.
Thank you very much, sir.
I think it's very, very important that the wives should look nice. My wife does it so well.
Oh, yes.
And because she's a representation of me. And I don't have to be with her.
Yeah.
I don't have to be with her for her to look nice.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Going with her to places, to parties is very important. it's important that she looks nice. So I can't walk with you I can't take you to my workplace when you're looking some way.
Yeah.
I will not. Or even hold your hand in public. I'll tell you, let me come, So that, I mean, for me, it's a no-brainer. Like, look nice, and we walk together.
Sure.
My friends need to look at you and say, your wife looks hot.
Yeah.
Or your wife looks nice.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a representation of me, so you must look nice. Like, I don't have to think about it.
Allow me throw just some small. So, the wife needs to look nice. Perfect, obviously, because, the wife is the glory of the husband. It's biblical. But then, sometimes, it can be misunderstood. Looking nice means also decent. For example,
Thank you.
we are married, and the length of before we got married and now that we're married is slightly different.
Oh, yes.
And look, the best person or the best judge of it's kawa or it's not kawa is your husband,
Yes.
because he's a guy. So case in point is, case in point. Case in point.
Charlie!
Case in point. Lord have mercy. Do we get a cheat, you guys? 'Cause anyway,
Whatever you
to
say
go back
here,
home, it is a safe space. But case in point, if let's say you're going to the office, you're going to work, right? And I tell you, it's not kawa. And you're like, what are you talking about? This is not tall. You see, my knees are even whatever. I'm like, it's
Look.
not okay,
Yeah.
right? You should understand that I'm coming from a place
yeah, my goods,
where, yeah.
my goods are not on display.
Exactly. My woman, my property. I see that from my wife
goods are not
sometimes.
on display.
Please, I, that is not how. But
Yeah.
I mean, there's a
Yeah.
song,
Yeah.
just flowing. It was right there. It was an easy thing. I'm not saying you're
Yeah.
my property or anything, but I mean, but it's very important for ladies to be mindful of that as well. How is a trouser doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see it. That's why there's home and whatnot. Please buy them for when we're at home.
Just the two of us.
Yeah, just the two of us or a safe space, But sometimes it's an area of contention where looking nice can sometimes mean looking that way, indecent.
Yeah.
But yet it should be also with a touch of modesty, because I don't want to be there. We're walking, you pass, then me and some guys' eyes look at each other, and I'm like, that's my babe.
That's my babe you're looking at.
You understand? You understand? I know what he has done, and I do not want.
I know what you're thinking.
Yeah. You get. So please, just be. Yeah.
Thank you very much for that.
Yeah. So, before I get into the appearance, Pastor Calvin talked about something which I think I just need to pick in. Back to the respect thing, and then we'll come back quickly. That's one of the areas where respect is very easy to demonstrate. When your husband tells you, I'm not comfortable with this, don't do it.
Yes.
And you insist on doing it.
Yeah.
There is a problem there. Whether you agree or not, first come from the point of, I will do what you're saying, but but when you refuse to do it, there's a problem. But let's come back to the issue of appearance.
Yes.
So the ladies are going to like this one. Because, so the man wants obviously a wife to look attractive and all that. That's a given. But there are two things. First of all, my belief is that it's the responsibility of the husband to make her beautiful.
True.
Because the Bible says, if you go back to Christ and the church,
Yeah.
he is beautifying the church to present her as the glorious
Yeah. To himself.
to himself.
Yes.
So it is his duty to work in her the work that needs to be worked so that she is glorious. Amen.
Amen.
So, Apostle said one time that, several times, that when you got her, it's her parents who made her what she was.
What you have
Now,
the one
what you have
is your work.
Is your work. Look what you have done.
Yes.
So it's for a man, it's one thing to say, I demand this, but you need to also carry the responsibility to make her be that which you want her to be. So that is one. The second one is, so the men, generally, their path in terms of appearance is fairly straightforward, but women go through different phases, and theirs is a more complex conversation. When you met her when she's still single, there is a look that she may have. When she starts taking contraception,
there's a look she will assume.
She may not change, she may. And you have no possibility of anticipating what she may look like. Because people respond differently to different things. True. And I don't need to lecture you on this.
Yes.
You are an expert in this.
You prescribe
when she gets pregnant, she's going to look different. When she gives birth and she's breastfeeding, she's going to look different. Her bra size is going to be different. When she stops breastfeeding, it's going to be different. When she gets pregnant again, she's going to be different. When she has stopped giving birth to all the children, it's going to be different. So I think also we need to exercise a high degree of patience and understanding, and
Elder Roots.
And so not to take away that we want our wives to look beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah, we need also to appreciate that. So if it means getting the right bra size, we need to do that. If it means getting the right size of dress, for maternity, that does not take away the responsibility.
Maternity.
Maternity. Yeah.
Pastor Emma, one of the things the ladies touched on that was beautiful was the fact that some of these wants can be seasonal.
Yes.
Or they could even depend on the background or the environment you're in.
Yeah.
So even for that case, there's a season where I will not demand that from my wife.
Yes.
Okay? And many other things. Maybe at that season I will need something totally different. So we should also make that as a foundation, that they can also change. The season in life, when you talk to some of the older men, they will probably need extra, maybe domestic support. I can't come home to a noisy home, for example.
Yeah.
I've come from work, I have fees to pay, I'm working hard, and I come home and the home is dirty. So all those other things. When I was younger, I didn't really care about what's at home.
Yes.
I didn't really care if she respects me or not. I just want her to go out with me in a short skirt. We just got married yesterday.
Yeah.
Keep maintaining the aim. But later, you'll find after 2 or 3 children, I'm like, why are you wearing a short skirt?
Yes.
It's time to flip it,
Yeah.
So I think that should be a foundation also for us.
Thank you very much. I think our time is up. Reel up. And I want to thank the gentlemen for sharing with us here what men want. After having listened to the ladies, put your hands together for these awesome gentlemen. Thank you very much.